Good day, I am Fatima moderating that together with my co-researcher.
I am Dailin Cirilativo.
And I am Raman Zalveta.
At this point, we are going to present our study entitled Utilization of Language Learning Application and its Relation to Language Competence among BSED English students. Learning a new language is a complex process, especially when you are an adult, because your brain is already wired with based on your first language. There is a need for us to conduct a study because in today's time, due to the pervasiveness of technology and to the impact of global crisis, the shift of learning modality from residential face-to-face to online class, which allows the students, particularly the English major students, to make use of available electronic resources such as Grammarly, Duolingo, AlsaSpeak, and other language learning applications that could improve our language competence.
Next will be the significance of the study. The findings of this study will benefit both teachers and students since they can integrate these language learning applications in teaching the English language. Thus, uh, the teachers and students will know the effectiveness of language learning applications in teaching and assessing the language proficiency of the students. Thus, the ideas presented may be used as reference data in conducting new researchers or testing the validity of other related findings.
Next
So
is
next is the scope and limitation. In this stage, it will focuses on the utilization of language learning apps and its relation to the language competence among BSED English students. And also it will look at the significant relationship between the language learning app and the language competence of the students. And also it will focus on the most used and available language learning app of the students, whether free or paid language learning applications. So in this stage, it will scope the details on how in-depth our study is. And also it will operate in relation of the population and in our respondents. If we include this statement or this stage in our study, it will clearly inform to our future reader why we choose this study.
next is the research objectives. This study will focus on the following research objective. First, to identify the level of utilization of language learning apps in terms of features. How the features of these language learning apps can provide the needs of the user when it comes to the lesson or inputs that the app could provide in learning the English language. Accessibility. How accessible and easy to use this language learning application. Second, to assess the level of language competence in terms of sentence construction, comprehension, and error analysis. Next is to determine the significant relationship between the language learning app and the language competence. How the utilization of language learning application could affect the language competence of the students. Last objectives is to determine which domains in the language learning app significantly influence the language competence.
Next will be the theories. This study is anchored of the following theories. First is we have impact of social media in English language learning utilizing SWOT analysis by Cabrera 2018. So this theory has several advantages or opportunities for English language learning in general. These internet-based social media sites have the potential to be effective platforms for providing up-to-date information. A significant amount of language input interaction with native language speakers, and cutting-edge learning. However, this same media may divert language learners' attention to misinformation, unscholarly and grammatical content, obscenities, and impersonal interactions. Practical applications of social media in English language learning are included.
So the second theory of this study is social interactionist theory, which states that the relevance and cognitive development of language learning process. A well-designed language learning app would embody the features and interactive guidance given by the mothers and other caregivers. An app would provide legitimate and comprehensible input of the target language to la- to help language learners in acquiring the English language. Examine whether or not is provide an app within wait lang. Examine or not an app providing feedback allowing users to self-correct their responses in learning tasks within the app.
So would be the lastly would be the theory of competence. So the grammar of a language considered as a theory of competence is an idealization and that speakers know the rules of the correct grammar of their language. The notion of linguistic competence as a cognitive system that produces knowledge and antecedently present in the mind of the subject. Knowledge of grammatical relation in response to certain stimuli is an important contribution to the philosophical understanding of linguistics and cognitive psychology in general. Next.
Review of related literature. This study suggests that an app can provide inexpensive and easily accessible educational resources for language learners. However, there is insufficient evidence to show that apps benefit learners of all ages insufficiently or equally. Future research should focus on the non-adult learners, more advanced learners, and languages other than English, which require more robust study designs. This is according to the study of Yang 2020. Next literature.
So, and the next review of related literature, rather, by Noshi, Musa, and Nokia Badi 2018, apps with larger user bases are the primary choice of the majority of elder learners, since they provide a more social environment for the users to communicate and share thoughts with one another. Other than such apps offers an imaginative and happy way of learning which is really well known with young learners. And an appropriate model of such app is Hello Talk, and the display paper has been composed to survey its features and highlights. Next.
So the next will be the respondents of the study. So the respondents of this study will be the third year students of University of Mindanao Tagum College enrolled in first semester school year 2021 to 2022. All respondents are taking a bachelor's degree in secondary education major in English.
The research materials or instrument of this study. The research This study will utilize a research-made questionnaire in gathering data. The survey questionnaire will undergo pilot testing to test the validity and reliability of the questionnaire developed by the researchers. The questionnaire rather have two parts. The first part will be to determine the utilization of language learning apps in terms of features and accessibility. The second part will be to determine the language competence language competence in terms of sentence construction, comprehension, and error analysis.
So the next one is design and procedure. So this study will utilize descriptive correlational approach to investigate the research objective of the study. After acquiring all the formal permission from our respondents, the researchers will make the letter of approval to conduct the study at Deans of College and University of Mindanao, Tagum City, wherein the data will be collected. The respondents will answer the survey questions through Google form. After collecting all the data, researchers will, the help of a statistician, tabulated and tailed the survey.
And that's the end of our presentation for Outline Proposal. Thank you and God bless.